Roger Federer's racket is finally here. This is the Wilson Pro Staff RF97 Autograph. I was really reminded of the new Yonex Tour G, the Stand the Man racket. That racket too has that really hefty feel, like you're getting a lot of mass moving, and this racket has it. For me to maneuver the 90 and especially the Pro Staff 85, even at a similar spec range, I get the 85 through contact much faster. The advantage of this racket is when you do make contact, it's got a much plusher feel. It's got a massive sweet spot to it. It's so rock solid and stable. You can, really get away with hitting the ball outside of center, and you still get a ton of pace, ton of spin, ton of action on the ball. It just totally dominates the contact with the interaction with racket and ball. This racket just comes through. Like Troy said, it's a stiff racket, but it doesn't feel like that. It's very soft, very plush feeling. Felt very dialed in on my drop volleys, and again, I could use that rock solid stability to hold a very loose grip and get maximum feel on my shots. One area I really did struggle was on serve, just couldn't get the racket at speed I'm used to getting, so my serves are coming in a little weak with this racket. But everywhere else, really enjoyed it. It's a racket I definitely want to spend some more time with to see if I can bring my game up to its level.
Now, as Chris so ever kindly explained to us, the RF97A just doesn't have the maneuverability of the old frames, even though the swing weight and the static weight and the balance point are basically the same. We've covered this in a past video. And that really sucks because they're saying Roger Federer uses this racket, and in reality, he probably isn't using that twist weight. Switching from a really low twist weight of a 12, especially anyone who's a rec player will feel this difference big time. Low twist weight of 12 or 13 or something like that, all the way up to close to 15 or above. That's really ridiculous. I promise I'll explain in one of the videos how Federer has stability even though he doesn't have a high twist weight. It really sucks because then people are buying this racket, trying to replicate it, and they're just adding weight to the tip, and then they're ending up with something that basically doesn't swing the same, doesn't have the same angular frequency, doesn't have the same stability, doesn't have the same feel in general, and I just don't think that he's using a high twist weight. I think it's pretty safe to say, and for sure he's using a higher swing weight. And I could go on and complain on and on about the industry and who's doing what, and whether it's the retailer's fault or the manufacturer's fault or whoever's fault or someone just doesn't know or who. I don't really care, but I'll do one better. This took a while to get here from somewhere in the world where likely a lot of illegal stuff happens. I got this. You might be thinking, Racquet Tech guy, you've gone mad and you've always been crazy and you should probably be an institution. Well, you might not be wrong. This racket, I'm willing to bet, could be modified to be a lot closer than the RF97A for a fraction of the price. Now, there's a big risk. One of those risks is that there's no quality control, and this comes from China, and it's really cheap. But if you think about it, retail prices have to be a huge percentage more than what it actually costs to produce a racket. If a racket costs $220 for us, which the RF97A does, it's pretty reasonable to say maybe the actual manufacturing cost is close to 20%. And then the manufacturer makes their cut, and then the retailer makes their cut. Especially considering it doesn't have any quality control, it has cheaper grommets, it has a cheaper grip, and it doesn't have really anything. So the real reason that I'm hoping that this will work is that the twist weight should be lower. Well, hopefully. Now, the claim is that this came from some backdoor Wilson sale. I don't know, and I don't really frankly care. We'll see. I will find out what the twist weight is. I'm hoping that it's lower, but if it's not, I can live with it. This racket is a little bit over 27 inches, which is really weird. I guess that's just a quality control issue. Judging by the butt cap, which you can't really see, the butt cap is actually this part, not just the trap door. And underneath the trap door, it looks like a genuine Wilson butt cap. Like, the grip is obviously some sort of cheap knockoff thing. This handle looks pretty weird. It's all foam. I have not seen that on an actual Wilson racket. They usually have some sort of coating on it. That does look like a Wilson butt cap to me. At least the last one I saw. I'll have to double check. I haven't looked at one in a while. Definitely you can see that there isn't quite the quality control, but for a fraction of the cost, I can totally live with that. And the big thing again is that it's very light. If it's very light, that just means I can place the weight I want exactly where I want it. 296 grams, that is without the grip, of course, is perfect. That's gonna be an awesome frame for me to work my magic with. And one other thing that I really like about this frame, a black paint job, which I really like a lot more than the red one. You can kind of see that inner, yeah, there you go. That looks like a genuine Wilson one to my eyes. What I really like is the fact that it doesn't have foam in here, because that's something that I would remove absolutely. And I was thinking about how would I remove that if it had foam on the inside like the retail Wilsons do, and it just has foam as the handle. The goals will be to not only show how I modify a frame, but to explain how Federer does his thing. We're gonna ballpark it. We're not gonna be exact what Federer is using, but we're gonna get a lot closer, hopefully, than what most people have done so far. This racket should be technically similar to a Pro Staff 97, not the RF97A, but technically those two should basically be the same racket except for a little bit of weight placement. So I don't really personally care. The widths and everything check out. It all looks good, so we'll see how it goes. There's a pretty good chance that this will break on me, but if it does, I have a couple more coming. So if they all break, then we can pretty much say that they're all just bad and that no one should ever do this again. Now, I'm in no way saying that you should not buy from Tennis Warehouse. In fact, I'm going to use their private label leather grip because I really like that leather grip. I'm just trying to offer a different perspective and show that the racket's weight in stock, totally super light, is totally fine, and you can make a real player, like an actual player's frame out of it. And that basically what you start with almost doesn't matter. I was thinking about doing basically this kind of video with a Walmart racket, but this is way more interesting. I found this, and basically all the things that I could find about these kind of Asian knockoff rackets is that the weight was too low. We'll see structurally how they are. There obviously is no quality control, so this one might fail, or the next one might fail, or the other one might fail, but we'll see. And stay tuned. We're gonna have more videos on this. We're gonna have some videos coming up on the swing weight. This came in a little early, and yeah, it should be pretty fun.
Roger Federer's racket is faster than this. First off, RF97 autograph.